You're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
The expired registration as of December 2023 and expired insurance as of November 2023. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the driver, the defendant, and the defendant did not have a driver's license due to outstanding tickets. The defendant had 18 outstanding class.
18 warrants?
What I have, Your Honor.
I'm assuming it's still, have you run it lately? You mind?
Not.
Mr. Espinoza, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm warning you now as a condition of your bond not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason until you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. You will be signing an affidavit. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's a burning building and you need to save 50 kittens. If you get into a car and drive, every time you do it, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is the affidavit you're going to sign. I don't care if you have to work. I don't care if there's a baby being born. I don't care if Jesus needs a ride to church. Do not drive. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Espinoza? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
I hired one.
Oh, Judge, Brian Levine signed on this morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
At the Sully attorney this week.
okay. I guess let's do this. I'm going to have you swear to us you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll have you take a seat while we wait for your lawyer to get here. Do not leave until he gets here and we have you sign a reset and excuse you. All right? Come on.
Judge, counsel is a.
Mr. Sosa, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On April 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched with a call for a suspicious person. The witness stated there was a Hispanic male in the back of the business causing a disturbance. The witness stated that the male was intoxicated and threatened an employee. The officer went to the back and noticed the male arguing with several people. The officer gave several verbal commands for the defendant to stop. The officer told the defendant he was only being detained for safety. And the defendant continued to walk away and stated, it's always the Hispanic trying to get the Hispanic. The defendant refused all verbal orders given to him, and the officer retained the defendant and notified him by the Texas driver's license. The officer noticed that while detaining the defendant,
What did he do? How did he interfere with anything? I didn't hear anything. Hispanic on Hispanic injustice or what?
Additionally, Judge, do we know that this was being told to him in Spanish? He's clearly not interested.
You're losing?
Your Honor, the only thing I have is that the officer was continue to walk away.
He's walking while Hispanic or what? No, I'm going to find no probable cause. All right, sir. There are people, when they drink, they become very happy. They are the life of the party. And there are people who, when they consume alcohol, they become the devil incarnate. If this is you, it's probably not a good idea to drink. Now, I'm finding no probable cause in your case, but be careful. You know, we have enough violence in this place as it is. All right? Please, take a seat for me. You are Miss Murphy Smith.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months, 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On September 29th, 2023, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a residence and made contact with the complaining witness. The complaining witness stated that the defendant and her mother took items from her vehicle and would not return them. The complaining witness stated that she had been contacted by a friend informing her of the theft and that the defendant had stated she was going to spend all of the complaining witness's money and max out her credit cards. The complaining witness inspected her vehicle and found her belongings missing. The law enforcement officer spoke to the defendant over the phone. Excuse me, ma'am. And the defendant admitted to take the items and refused to return them when given the opportunity to do so. The approximate value of the items taken was $600.
Okay. Ms. Murphy Smith, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness, not to go where they live, and not to go near their car. These are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will go into custody. No more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am? Yes.
Yes, sir.
You have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am.
No.
We will have you fill out an application. I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. If you do, we'll provide your lawyer today. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box and then don't leave until we release you, ma'am. Okay? Please. Mr. Ramon, you are charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On April 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched with a theft at Target. The officer arrived and made contact with loss prevention employees who stated they observed two Hispanic females, later identified as the defendant and co-defendant. They were in the store selecting merchandise and placing items in a shopping cart, specifically concealing some of the items in a baby car seat while one was pushing the cart. This defendant was adding merchandise to the shopping cart. She removed the price tags from selected items. Meanwhile, the co-defendant walked through the makeup department, selected 3 items, and placed them in the baby car seat, along with other items they had previously chosen. The co-defendant then proceeded to the jewelry department, where she selected a purse, and both females then moved towards the front of the store, approaching the cash registers without making any pay for the items in the car seat, and exited the store. Without attempting to pay for the merchandise in the shopping cart that the co-defendant was pushing. The defendants were positively identified from previous AFI smoke shop photos, and the total value of the items taken was $150.98.
Okay. It's Walmart?
Target, Your Honor.
Target. Mr. Ramon, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go to any Target for any reason. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. I am also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact, hang out with, or be with Ms. Monsivai. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you're hanging out with her, likewise, you will end up in custody. If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to get you out of jail, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with. And I'm telling you, it'll take 9 months just to get, certain types of evidence. Do you understand? What do you do with yourself these days?
I stay home, taking care of my mom.
Did you graduate from high school? What are you going to do with the rest of your life, ma'am? If you need something to do, this is right. That conviction will kill you because people know, you need something to do. When people have too much time on their hands, they become self-destructive, ma'am. You need something to do, and now is the time for you to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You only have so much time. Before you know it, 5 years will pass. If you've done nothing, you're either going to, hanging out with the wrong crowd, be reliant on a man. You need to be strong as a woman. Never rely on a man. Knowledge is power. We're going to work on that. Do you mind appointing her a lawyer? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box. I'm going to find you a lawyer here, and then we'll figure out how we're going to go forward. Don't become a danger to our community. Don't hang around with the wrong people. They're just going to bring you down. You understand, man? Okay, come on.
This way.
Over, and over. Now on our fourth. You now stand charged with prostitution.
On April 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was conducting an undercover investigation and observed the defendant walking on the side of the street. The officer observed that the defendant was exposing part of her breast and made contact with the defendant. The defendant asked the officer if the officer was the police, to which the officer replied he was not. And the defendant gestured with hands a 100, indicating $100. The officer, whose training experience recognizes to be a tactic used by prostitution workers to mitigate verbal conversations because they're aware of police reporting tactics. The officer then whispered 100, 104. The officer gestured a closed fist, entering and exiting the officer with mouth to indicate oral sex. The defendant then nodded her head up and down to indicate a yes response. Defendant then told the officer to get a room at a nearby hotel. The officer stated the defendant gestured a 2 and 5 to indicate the price of the hotel room. The officer left the scene and gave the predetermined bus signal, and the defendant was detained. The officer stated the defendant was positively identified using her FBI.
Okay. I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, ma'am. Here's what we're going to do. I'm putting a monitor on your ankle now, and I'm forbidding you from going to any street from these cases that you've been on. If I find that you do, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond high. It stops today. Do you understand? The next thing that we're going to do, I will appoint you a lawyer, but it's time for you to get a real job, a 9-to-5 job, one where you actually work, get up, go to work for 8 hours, and then go home. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to fill out a gajillion applications. If nothing gets done, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? But this stops on our 4th, no more. And if I find that you're engaging in any type of way, do you understand? So I'd like to look at all the streets for every single case that we've had here, and then we're going to forbid her from going to any of these streets. I want it to ding and a GPS monitor so that we know she's not going to any of these streets. And we'll go from there. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we work out all the details, man. Please.
Purpose of the monitor other than the exclusions, did you want a curfew or anything?
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Yeah. Let's do a curfew so she's not out in the middle of the night.
7?
No, I mean, I don't want to be restrictive like 9 to 6. Yeah. I don't want her going anywhere near any of the streets on any of those prior cases. No drugs, no alcohol, and must get a full-time job. Mr. Finley, you're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Judge, I'd like to start out by prefacing that the unlawful carry is based on the defendant being under 21 years of age.
Okay.
And then I'll proceed with the.
Yeah.
On April 10, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a disturbance from a weapon call. The 911 caller gave a description of an individual with a gun at an intersection. Law enforcement officers, upon arrival, found a defendant who matched the description in the intersection. The defendant looked at the law enforcement officers, marked the car, and ran from the law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers then said to the defendant, "Police, stop," and the defendant disregarded the command and kept running. The defendant then ran into an apartment complex and met a dead end, then stopped running and was detained. The defendant.
So they saw the gun on him. They saw him with a gun.
Your Honor, I don't know that they saw him. It's after he was detained, they found the gun in his front right pocket.
What led them to him in the first place?
There was a 911 call. It seems the 911 caller did see the gun.
Okay.
And then the officers were dispatched.
That's the description of this dude with a gun.
Yes, Your Honor.
So cops come, he takes off. Okay.
And then he was detained after evading for approximately 100 yards. And then the law enforcement officers searched the defendant and found a pistol in the defendant's front right jacket pocket, a small bag of marijuana in the defendant's front right hand.
Okay. Here's the problem. You're on felony probation. So I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause, Mr. Finley. Let's do this. Do you mind appointing him a lawyer today? And then we'll have him talk to a lawyer. for now, you were not to use alcohol or dope, be in possession of a weapon. You're on felony probation where you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. You're supposed to live life as if you have a halo above your head, Finley, because if not, you're looking at up to 10 years prison. Do you understand? What do you do with yourself these days? Do you work? Go to school?
Before that, I said got arrested. I got fired.
What were you doing?
Where I saw
Okay. It's time to get back to the jobs. You need to get a job. And I am making that a condition of your bond as well. If I find that you're not working, just doing nothing all day, it's not going to go well for you. I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? I'm giving you the opportunity now to not use, because I'm telling you, I will test you 45 days from today. And if you continue to use, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? So back again in 2 weeks and see about a job. And then, so for now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we have you sign bond conditions. You will meet shortly here with pretrial for your bond conditions. All I want are my streets to be safe. You do anything to my streets. You understand me? Come on.
Your Honor, just to clarify,
I'm finding probable cause on both cases.
both cases, yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, he's on felony probation, you know?
Yes, Your Honor.
You mind bringing up Miss Gibbs? Yes.
Counsel for reset?
Joseph, who you got?
Judge, I've got Benny Hernandez.
How you feeling?
Yeah, not too great, but I'm managing. Judge, we can, this case, we could possibly do a plea on it today if we can do it all through the portal, if I can sign the documents through the
Yeah,
portal.
I'm sure we can.
Okay.
Do you know what offer you're going to take?
The state's offered 15 months of probation.
Okay.
This is a second
Yeah,
DWI.
everything can be done through the portal. Do you have your guy's phone number so you can, talk to him
Yes.
outside?
Yes, I do. I believe he's in the courtroom right now.
Benny Hernandez, your lawyer's going to call you now. Step outside, talk to him about everything, and then when you come back in, we'll get it done. Please. Okay, Joseph, we'll
All
get
right.
it written up and put in the portal for you.
Thank you. All right.
Sure thing. Okay, so Ms. Gibbs, the reason I'm bringing you out now is that your lawyer is asking for me to give you a PR bond on your failure to identify oneself. I don't know, I have to look at what's going on in your life to see, should we give you a PR bond? Are you a danger to the community? I mean,
Not at all, sir. Not at all. I'm a college graduate. I've got 4 kids I need to take care of. I have a job. I have a vehicle. I have no problem getting to court at all. Like the last 2 court dates that I had with my felony, I had a miscarriage and I was in the hospital, and they're aware of that.
everybody tells me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods.
That's the only thing it was. It was I had a for real miscarriage.
I get it, but you're on bond for a felony endangering a child.
Mm-hmm.
You've picked up 2 fraudulent uses. And now, after those 3 cases, you've now picked up a 4th case of failure to identify oneself. So
They were all in this.
stop.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. I just want to know what's going on
Yes, sir.
to see whether we should give you a PR bond, because this is not a revolving door,
I understand that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Okay, please.
Thank you, Judge. On April 2nd, 2025, the officer was monitoring a neighborhood police radio broadcast. The officer heard a broadcast call for the theft of the department store off of East Sam Houston Parkway in Harris County, Texas. The caller gave a description of the defendant and explained the defendant had just left the store. The officer arrived in the area and found the defendant as she was described by the caller, along with a male individual with the defendant. The officer observed the defendant and the individual enter into a motor vehicle and exit the parking lot. The officer observed the motor vehicle have no front license plate and expired registration. The officer conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant. And the defendant identified themselves as Kathleen O'Brien, date of birth, May 24th, 1982. The defendant stated she did not have any ID card on her person. The officer looked up the defendant by the name and date of birth on the public safety photo, and they did not resemble the defendant. The officer asked for the name and date of birth of the defendant once again, and the defendant gave the same name and date of birth. due to the photograph not matching, the officer to confirm the defendant's name and date of birth with the mobile FIS. That returned the actual identity of the defendant as Candace Lynn Gibbs, date of birth, July 16, 1981. Along with a Harris County Sheriff's Office mugshot of the defendant that matched the driver of the vehicle.
So they didn't charge you with a theft?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Or they did not.
So what's going on with the 2 fraud cases that she has that shows like no bond?
Not sure.
Those cases, Lori?
No, sir. I know that she went to court on the 15th, 14th,
15th, yes,
on
ma'am.
the 15th on the. I received an email from her felony attorney stating that this was the only case that was holding her in and to see if I could move her up to get her out.
She said something that they weren't filed or they weren't, or something hadn't been done where.
Yeah, she said they weren't filed yet.
They're filed. I guess the judge just hasn't signed it yet.
Your Honor, it looks like there was a plea offer made originally for the endangerment of a child. And that plea offer has been made now on the fraudulent use case. That was just, I believe, discussed between the felony prosecutor and the defense attorney.
In this case, Lori, in the fraudulent use case, in her clutch, as they pull them over, she has the identifying credit cards, debit cards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 different items of other people's identifying information. You are on bond for endangering a child. You pick up 2 fraudulent use cases and now allegedly at a store doing whatever with a failure to ID. I'm not going to sit here and give you yet another PR bond. You know, at some point we have to say when, and now is that time. Your bond, literally $50 to get you out, right? But I can't sit here and continue to just perpetuate this thing over and over and over. All I want is my community to be safe, you know?
I understand that,
So
sir.
I'm going to find
In
probable
an
cause.
abusive relationship.
Don't say anything, but got to understand that, I'm not going to give her a PR bond, Lori. I'm sorry. All right. So ma'am, what we'll do now, your felony cases are set for the 30th of April. We can set you for the day after and we'll go from there. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
That's what we said.
Okay, so Mr. Sherrill, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We have already done probable cause. I found probable cause to go forward with your case. We set a bond. He's made the bond or no?
Yes, yes,
You've made the bond.
Yes.
Okay. So I am entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Taylor as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? They're not currently together now?
No.
Okay, great. So there's just no,
So,
I don't want to talk about the case.
no, it's not. She still like communicates with like my family and my friends. Like I don't even live here, and it's events come like my best friend's wedding. I'm going to the wedding, but she's trying to come. So how do I have
Got to
to?
be careful, you know? You're not to have any contact with her.
Sounds like she's using, I don't know if she knows there's a restraining or protection
She
order.
is using, the officer was a personal friend, so that's why.
Okay, well,
So this merely says that you can't go to or near her residence, right, where she lives, where she works. Don't have any contact with her. The problem is that there's a lot of vindictive people in this life. If you go to the same place that she is and you end up bumping into each other and she says something to you, it's a recipe for disaster. So you have to be very careful. If you go to this wedding and she's there, it's like a ticking time bomb. So you need to be just very careful because I don't know, what kind of person she is. If she's that type of person, you got to be very careful because there are a lot of people that will call them and say, hey, this happened when it's just not true. And if it does, they issue the warrant and then it's up to you now. You pick up another charge. So just be careful, all I want is just you not to have any contact with her. Don't be in possession of weapons. As long as you can do that, we're cool. I'm going to waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court here as well. Just stay in touch with counsel and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court here. So you don't have to come back and forth every single court date. Just stay in contact and he'll let you know if and when you have to come back.
I appreciate it.
Do you have any questions?
I guess so.
You live in Baltimore, right? Okay. So for now, what I'm gonna have to do is I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the juror box. We'll get your bond conditions. I'll have you sign it, and after that, you're free to go. Okay?
It's not a good morning. No, it most certainly isn't. Let's go through your summary, Mr. Gutierrez.
Sure.
Client was placed on community supervision on 8/3/23. He was referred to IOP, SOP on 9/5/23. You were assigned to the SACC caseload on 9/6/23. You were referred to IOP, SOP, which is the outpatient treatment programs, intensive outpatient and supportive outpatient treatment. If you failed to complete the DWI intervention program, failed to complete with the rules of his portable alcohol monitoring device, the client has a large amount of skip tests. They were verbally, I'm sorry, am I boring you? Verbally addressed to you by the probation officer on a repeated basis. You have 2 positive UAs for alcohol and THC on 11/23 and 2/24. And now the recommendation is what? That's what we're going to do. I tried to get you to do this on your own. You were unable to do it. Now we're going to do it my way. It goes with you.
Ready for the first one?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right, we're on page 2. Abo Kingsford. Come on up.
You gonna do it? I emailed Dylan. Okay, yeah, you got it.
Kingsford Aibo. Good morning, sir. You were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On April 15, 2024, in Harris County, officer dispatched to a disturbance call. Officer met with the complainant, who was married to the now defendant. The defendant had been drinking in the evening and started an argument with the complainant. And while the complainant was sitting in a chair, he pushed the complainant and scratched her arm, causing pain. Officer noted the complainant had a small arm.
Can you run an NCIC to see what other priors, if anybody?
Yes.
Mr. Kim. Mr. Aibo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
No, right, Judge.
Okay. Do we know if she wants to have contact with him?
No, I haven't had successful contact yet. There was one attempt, about a week ago.
Okay. I don't know if she wants to have contact with you. So until I know that she wants to talk to you, I'm ordering you not to have any contact with her. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons. It looks like they didn't do a MOAB. So I'm entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Victoria Aibo as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. You understand? If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. And that's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. Tell me, what do you do for a living, sir?
Warehouse leader, civil logistic.
How much money do you make a month?
Well, it depends because right now our hours is short now, so we're making 35 hours. So I'm going home with $560 a week.
So you make around, give or take, $2,000 a month.
Yes.
Do you have any children?
No.
Can you afford a lawyer, sir?
At this time, because
let's do this. Let's do this. I want you to go out there. I want you to start looking. There's a gajillion and one lawyers in Harris County. It's a matter of you getting one, like buying a car. You don't go to a Ferrari dealership when you first start buying a car. Same thing with a lawyer. You go to one, you find one within your price range, negotiate with them. 99% of them will put you on a payment plan if you ask. Negotiate with them. Don't take them at first blush. If they say no, go to the next one. If you have any issues, just come back and talk to me and then we can go further. All right?
one person, my wife, I'm the one who take care of it. She don't want to work, so the bills, I'm the one paying everything. So
for now, until I know that she wants to have contact with you, I just don't want it. I don't want it to happen. I will have them later on reach out to her to see if there's contact. Also, when you have a lawyer, the lawyer can come and approach and then we can talk about modifying the conditions. But I want to know, I want to honor her wishes. That's my first concern. And I don't know what she wants to do with you. Okay. So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go. All right.
Right this
Please.
way. Counsel, do you have an argument? Okay. Miller?
No. Dave, we have one more, please. Yeah. Ma'am, come up. What is your name?
Karen Williams. Williams on page 24.
And do you have a lawyer?
Paper, I do, yeah. The last
Your
time.
case is nearly 400 days old. You've taken off multiple times. I am not happy with you, man. The next time you skip out on me, I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to flip. Do you understand? Who is your lawyer, man?
Garcia.
Okay. No resets. We figure out today what happens. Take a seat for me in the jury box, man. Greg.
Are you again?
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Hey, bud. What's up?
Hey, I just have this case today, so I'm jumping on, but we already took care of my Alexis Kidder, right? Okay. So my other case is Brittany Gillardoni. She is in custody. I don't see that a rip call has been done, but I believe she's on probation. So I
What was
don't
the
know.
last, Greg, what was the last name again?
Gillardoni.
I have a Gilladon.
She's got an alias.
It's Gillardoni.
But yeah, she has an alias of Gilladon as well. It's,
Oh, yeah, that's the AK. We have the AK.
So she's on probation for felon in possession, possession less than a gram, and now she's picked up an assault.
yes.
The bond, our bond is set at 2,500. I don't know if she's made bond on the felony cases.
Wait.
Oh, she's got quite the history, man. Tell me, what do you want?
I was just waiting to see what felony's doing. I mean, the rip call hadn't been done, so they haven't made a rec, which I understand, but.
The next setting date for the felony is 2/27 of 24, so that tells me they haven't done anything. She probably hasn't even made it up. Let's see if they've even filed a motion to revoke. It may be just.
She attempted once, but she hasn't called back.
Hey, look, they filed a motion to adjudicate in February of this year already once. They had another one in December.
So they haven't filed it yet. The last one was in 2/27 for the last revocation, but her bond is still technically set at 10,000 for the one back in February. So I imagine they're going to do it sometime soon.
Yeah, it's her third time, Greg. So
You want to do like a 2-week reset, Judge?
yeah, I guess we'll do that.
Okay.
We need to probably do conditions though, because I don't know if she's going to get out.
This one,
Because that's a low bond, and if she makes our bond, you know, I might.
then she's had 2 fugitive cases in in this court.
Yeah, do you mind bringing her up, please? So Dave, let's do PC real quick, huh? When she gets out here.
Yeah, Judge, sorry, I jumped on Zoom because it's my only case today. That and the fugitive.
Get you out of here quick, man.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not, that's why I didn't come down there, so.
Thanks. Okay. Good morning, Ms. Gillardoni.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
How's jail? I guess we're not getting your attention. Come on up to the bar. I guess we're still not getting your attention. So you now stand charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Counselors, keep it down, please.
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Just so you know, you're not here alone. Look on the screen up there. That's Greg. He's been appointed to represent you. So you do have a lawyer with you today.
On April 6th, officer replied by the complainant who stated that the now defendant was walking on the north side of the street. The complainant stated she was walking with a male friend when the now defendant came from behind and began a conversation with the male. Complainant stated she didn't know the defendant, and complainant stated that her male friend left, and the defendant turned to complainant and stated, quote, "I'm going to drag you down the street," end quote. They got into a verbal altercation where the defendant grabbed the complainant by the hair, threw her to the ground, and drug her on the concrete floor, then stomped on her head once. Complainant stated she felt pain, had a knot and early bruise forming on the left side of her head that the officer was able to observe, and an abrasion to her left knee that was bleeding.
Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I don't know if you're going to get out, but if you do, I'm ordering you under home confinement. You are not allowed out for any reason. Do you understand? I'm also going to put a GPS monitor so I know where you are at all times. I'm ordering you not to be in possession of weapons and not to have contact with any of the complaining witnesses.
That's all I do for this country. Yes, sir. Thank you. The nation, matter of fact.
You're done.
I
You're
appreciate
done.
that,
You're
sir.
done.
Thank you.
You're done.
No, fucking
I'm ready, Your Honor.
Gillardoni.
You might be on your own.
Gillardoni with the G. So you want to go ahead and have her evaluated, Greg?
Yeah, I could do that.
Can't hurt.
Let me make a note. I'll do the paperwork tomorrow when I'm down there. Do you want to do a longer reset then, Judge, if I file the?
You have to do 30 days. Yeah,
So let's do like 31 since I'm gonna file it tomorrow, 31 or 32.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know a $2,500 bond is sufficient, man.
I don't know that she'll
Go a
make
little
it.
bit higher.
She was on docket last time, so I don't know that she'll make it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because she's been there, I think, a week. So.
Yeah, you ready? We have another rain.
Okay.
Ready?
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Greg. You're the best. Hey, Luis. Salina Silva, come up. You speak English. Transferieron tu caso a el ERD, se llama, un diferente corte, okay? Hey, Victoria, what's the address for ERD? I know, but I need to give him I want to give him the address so he doesn't go to the wrong place.
I think it's 1115 Congress.
That's it?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Is it 5th floor, 4th? Do you know? Ramona, what floor? Do you know?
I believe 4th floor. But there's a sign right out in front. 4th floor, Judge.
Oh, yeah, they started putting in the elevators because people kept getting lost.
Okay. Hey, does he have court today?
4:23.
Ok. Te voy a dar este papel. Dice que tú tienes corte el 23 de abril. Oh, no. What is it? We're in April, right?
Yes.
Ok. Abril 23 a las 11 de la mañana. Este es a donde tienes que ir. No tienes corte aquí más. Y si tienes preguntas, llámate a tu abogado y él te puede decir más. Oh, tienes que ir ahora a las 11, pero anda ahora a esa dirección. Piso 4, en el Congreso. Come up, Miss Williams. Okay. Right. Ma'am, you were charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you've done. You're pleading guilty to this case. It will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You understand? You were giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Like I said, this is done deal forever today. You can never change this. You still want to do this, man? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty. I will send you to the agreement. Understand, Ms. Williams, that from now on, you will be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail if you ever pick up another theft case. What's more is that a third theft case, you're facing a felony charge. Instead of days, it's years. Do you understand? Okay, good luck to you, man. Please see the clerk. I'll roll it. I'll roll it.
I mean, statistically, it's not.
Okay. Tell me. Hi.
Ashton Alvarez or Alvarado.
Custody or on bond?
What was that? Sorry. He's on bond, Judge.
That's right.
They came back positive.
Correct. Where is he now? Yeah, we need to talk because I was going to revoke his bond because he tested positive. So I think that, guys, do you mind? Hey, Pavel, you mind, guys, stepping so I can come up, Mr. Espinoza?
I talked to him briefly about drug test. He said he should be good in the next couple of weeks.
No, he told me the last time, yesterday, in fact, that he had smoked like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Isn't that right? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When was the last time you smoked dope? No, I want a date. because I'm gonna test you. And I want to know if you, because I asked you yesterday to be honest with me. And if you test positive, I'm going to put you in jail. You told me that you had done it a couple weeks ago. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt because of your arrest was a couple weeks ago. But I want to know because I ordered you to stop smoking dope. And if you did while you're on bond, you're going to stay with me. So I want a date. You get with Kavita. I want to know because within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, I'm going to test you. If you test positive, you'll end up staying with me. So talk to Kavita and let me know.
Thank you, Brother.
Thanks.
My case was actually over a month ago,
We'll talk about your case. Okay, we'll talk about it.
And that's a bad thing for you. Mr. Espinoza, I would get back into school so you could learn something. Because right now, you ain't got no knowledge. Vita, tell me.
249-9562.
Talking about homeboy?
Yes, we're still waiting on a rip, it looks like, from the state. And he's gonna need it probably at least 30 days to pass the drug test, considering it's been a week or so.
When was the last time you smoked weed?
Last week.
Last. Come up. Come up. Did you get a day?
Exact date, but about a week ago, Judge.
I'm gonna end up picking a date if you can't give me one. If you can't give her a good date, I'm gonna pick one for you. The last time you smoked weed. And let me make something abundantly clear to you. If you ever smoke again, you're going to jail for a long time. You understand? I am also making it a condition that you get a job. Go to Amazon. All you need is one leg and a partial heartbeat to get a job at Amazon. Get a job, or you will stay with me. Do you understand? Start paying child support, or you will stay with me.
Say what I can.
That's not good enough. What you can means nothing. That baby still needs to eat, not when it can eat. It eats 3 times a day, Mr. Espinoza.
Hey,
Get a job. So, what date are we coming back for him to take a drug test? A week ago, I guess he said, right? So, today's the 23rd, so let's just assume, I guess that's the 16th.
Probably May 16th would be fine, Judge. That's a Thursday.
Kavita, what day did you say?
May 16th? Unless you want to do like a 2.
1, 2.
And I'm hoping that we can get this case resolved.
I will give you that day. Any day that you ask. You're going to come here on May 16th to take a drug test. Your butt better be clear, because if it's not, it ain't gonna go well for you, Mr. Espinoza. I'm also gonna have you come back in 2 weeks to prove to me what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing from now to the next 2 weeks, say bye-bye. Take a seat.
Can I ask you a question?
You'll talk to me out there.
To prove that I'm actively looking for a job, can I show me applying and?
You can give that to me.
Okay.
Leader, she can help you, but I'm telling you, go to Amazon. They hire just about anyone. If you put your heart into it, you can do damn near anything, Mr. Espinoza. That's all it takes is a little willpower and a little go-getter attitude. That's all it takes. I'm not asking you to split the atom.